I'm Beth Keener-Flanery of Beth Keener Designs, and I live in Taylor County in Pruntytown. I'm a visual artist, graphic designer. I'm primarily known for my one-off handbags. Those that are still produced from canvas, I call artisan bags. I am originally from Mannington, West Virginia. Lived a very rural life and all that implies. Farm life, coal miners. In the 4th grade, I was asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I literally wrote down, I want to draw pictures. I think I may have been the only one in my surroundings at that time who wasn't studying to be an art teacher. To say you wanted to be an artist was literally unheard of. One of the things that I tend to gravitate toward is to repurpose or recycle or upcycle. So I was always doing that as a child. Making a lamp from old hangers. I was looking to redefine what something was visually. I had been to Europe and done some independent studies there. From that trip, I learned that art history was fueling me creatively more than the process. So I came back and was like, can I take art history? So that I was able to get into that program, and I'm an artist, and I was like, man, this work makes me feel. And they were like, we're not talking about feelings. But artists, right? We do that because we know the process. This is an extension of who you are. So it's really difficult to remove emotion from that particular process that we're pushing out. Focus on just the facts, ma'am, just the facts. So I was awarded my internship at the Mattress Factory. And for those who don't know what the Mattress Factory is, it's the Mattress Factory Contemporary Museum of Art. And it is an installation museum founded by Barbara Ludorowski, who passed away in 2018. What a lot of people don't recognize is this gem that is in Pittsburgh is the very first installation museum on the planet. Barbara, to date, taught me more than probably any other human in terms of the art world. She needed an assistant because her assistant had gone, and so I took that job, and it was tough. But I realize now the other part of that is that I just really wanted to get it right. I wanted her to be proud of what I was doing because she had put her whole life into this. Later, life circumstances, I was in the middle of a divorce. I had to leave that job. I flew to Chicago, I thought about Florida, and I went to Nashville. One day, I had a canvas and I took it off of the stretchers and I lined it with a vintage scarf, and everybody was like, I was like, it's just this painting, and I thought it was cute, and so I stitched the sides, and here we are. And that was in, I think, 2009, and then I just started making more and refining them, and then adding the vintage scarf on the inside, and then I would solder pieces together for the front, which is what I called the hardware. So those are what I now call the artisan bags, but for years I did nothing but those bags, and I refused to do anything else. While I was creating the purses, I kept my full-time job, to be perfectly honest, because financially I needed to do that. To all the bosses who have creatives that are working for you as their day job to help support their dream, and probably what they should be doing if we lived in a different world, which we're getting there, the internet, we're getting there. I had a team of people and a boss and owners of that company who were so supportive of what I was doing. They got it. They were like, no, we think what you're doing is just fantastic. I lived in Nashville for 6 years. I didn't really want to leave. My folks were like, we think you're doing so well with this, and you're not going to be able to do it financially. Do you want to come and live with us? At first I was like, hey, I don't think so. Thank you, but I don't know about that. I mean, I'm just like, you know what? If this isn't what I'm supposed to do, you know, God will catch me. Nobody's going to die. Nobody's going to die over this. So let's just jump and we're going to do it. I worked in their basement and created a studio. I was like, I'm just going to dig into these handbags. So after being able to kind of rebuild and restructure over in that DMV area, I connected with some people back here because now I'm, 2.5 hours away from West Virginia, not Nashville hours away from West Virginia. I never thought I would move back home. And the irony is not only am I here, but I literally live in the woods. Last year, we were able to build this studio, and a lot of the stuff in here is recycled stuff. So even building this building was a fun upcycle. As West Virginians, we're sturdy. We're a sturdy bunch of folks. Being from the state, you are taught to survive, because we're always that state that's kind of like, really? Even Barbara Ludorowski, case in point. I worked with her directly every day, long days. And at one point she said to me, you're not really from some tiny little place in West Virginia, are you? And I was like, you want to get in the car and go? I can drive you there. I can show you. Let me show you who we are. Let me show you what we can do and do really, really well. So I think that drive, I get that when I'm here, like people are going, we see you're doing so good. And in Miami, it was like I came out, I did my thing, the models came out, I talked, and we were done. West Virginians were protective of other West Virginians, right? A lot of creative people have to, no matter what that is, whether it's visual art or anything else, they're working another full-time job or waiting tables or doing all the things, right? Because we're never paid enough. And so that becomes even more difficult in a rural community. At the end of the day, you better decide that you love this enough to make sacrifices. You have to want to do it. Then set your mind, then do the work and do it with confidence, but the right amount of humility, because you're always going to end up doing stuff that you never thought you would have to do. I think difficult circumstances can glean and yield to success when you're willing to put the work into it.